Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to look into these simple questions under coordinate geometry. In coordinate geometry, we are talking about the line segments, the lines that crosses across the coordinates x and y. In the question today, we say that if 3y minus 5x is equals to 1 and another line ky equals to x plus 3 are equations of two straight lines. That is, two straight lines are passing through this equation which are perpendicular. Find the value of k. For two straight lines to be perpendicular, the gradients, that is solution, the gradients of that two straight lines, the gradients of the first line called M1 and the gradients of second line called M2. The product of the two gradients should be able to give you -1. And once it is -1, it means that the two lines is perpendicular to one another. Then we are given first equation of a line 3y minus 5x equals to 1. The first thing you do to get M1 is to make y the subject of the formula. So to make y the subject of the formula, we have that 3y equals to 1 plus 5x. Then divide both sides by the coefficients of y. So we now have that y is equal to 1 over 3 plus 5x over 3. Comparing it with this formula for this equation of a straight line, which is y equals to mx plus c, where m is the gradients, that's the coefficients of x, m is the gradients, and c is the constant. So gradients here is 5 over 3. So we have 5 over 3 as gradients for the first equation. Then coming for the second equation, the gradients is M2. So the gradient for M2 is making y the subject in the second equation. So y will be equals to x plus 3 divided by what? K. So y equals to x over k plus 3 over k. So comparing it from y equals to mx plus c. So we now notice that the coefficients of x, which is the gradients of M2, will be equals to 1 over what? K. But for a line to be perpendicular, for two lines to be perpendicular, it means that M1 times M2 supposed to be equals to -1. So we are going to substitute the value of M1 and the value of M2 to know what we are going to get. So the value of M1, so therefore M1 times M2 is equals to -1. M1 is 5 over 3 times M2 is 1 over k equals to -1. So 5 times 1 is 5 and 3 times k is 3k equals to -1. We now then cross multiply to make k the subject. So we have that 3k minus 3k equals to what? 5. We divide both sides by the coefficients of k, which is -3. And when we divide, we get that our beautiful k is -5 over 3. That is, the answer is k equals to -1 whole number, -1 whole number, 2 over 3. That is the answer, the actual value for k. Try to follow, like, and comment to see our more educative videos. Bye.